Welcome to the Mercedes Wilson Show. Let's talk about something that is hardly ever talked about behind the pulpit: sex. We often hear about what not to do, but my guest today is going to tell us what we can do from her new book, Sex in a Christian Bed, what it looks like. I have Dr. Nadine Wong with me.
You're amazing. There'll never be another like you. Captivating and sharing the things that really matter to you. When the weight of the world gets too heavy, take a ride with Mercedes. Be in the know on the Mercedes Wilson Show. Sharing the things that really Mercedes Wilson.
Welcome to the Mercedes Wilson Show. Dr. Nadine Wong is a clinical psychotherapist with a doctorate in integrative medicine and trichology. She is also the CEO for Alabaster Wellness Clinic, developer of Alabaster Beauty Ointment, and founder of Alabaster Gates Children's Charity. Welcome, Dr. Wong.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited that you're here. We get to talk about something that we don't talk about.
Yes.
I want to get to it, but before that, who is Dr. Nadine Wong?
Wow. Dr. Nadine Wong is just a woman that has a desire for life. I two attributes about me: I enjoy a good cry and I enjoy a good laugh.
A good cry.
A good cry.
That's
and a
good.
good laugh. Yeah. And I basically like to take time, in spite of ministry, but I still like to take time to smell the roses. So what I do, I travel with my charity. I love having different types of conferences that connect with persons of not just women, but I think men need to be included as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So I love building the platform where we can have a community conversation and feel safe about it.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about some stuff today. But what drew you to the areas of study?
Oh my gosh. My area, the area really started out because, according to my dad, I had a knack for style and flair. I was to be a supermodel, and as a result of that, life happened. And one thing led to another. I started out doing social work, and then it digressed into cosmetology, and then it digressed and went to the science of cosmetology, which is trichology, and then it digressed into psychotherapy, and then it digressed into integrative medicine, and then it digressed into wellness. And basically what the Lord revealed, basically you have enough to create a platform, a wellness platform.
You sure do.
So when persons come in, all three entities of what I do is tied in to offer persons complete wellness.
And sex is a part of wellness, right?
Oh, it sure is.
So where do we even start? You wrote a book called Sex, Let's Talk About Sex in a Christian Bed.
Yes.
I was drawn to it. It's a good book. It is a good, like I didn't put it down. I didn't put it down. But what made you write this book?
Well, I wrote the book as a therapist. I see lots of cases, and 99.9% of the cases are persons who are having a challenge with sex, especially from the faith-based community.
Okay, so 99 point what?
9.
Yes. Isn't that 100% when you round up?
Well, yeah. No, it's not 100%.
Where is the hang up?
Well, like disease and disorders, they can be transferred through hereditary, so is information. And a lot of the information that has come before me in the name of therapy or to counsel someone has to do with information, the wrong type of information that one has received. And for what I have seen as to why I have really generalized it, almost 99.9% is the information that is out there about sex.
That is nuts to me.
And you know what? The fact that we are believers.
Yeah.
And we are existing because of sex.
But in the beginning of your book, you talk about, I've heard everything from the notion that sex is only for procreation to perceptions that Christians do not or should not have sexual desires, or that Christians do not desire to have great sex. Yes. So people still believe that it is only for procreation. Can you break that down?
Oh my gosh. So, so what that is saying is simply this, that information is still circulating in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And today's generation they're still living that vicariously through their parents.
Do you think the young generation is, though? Or is it more the older generation?
No, the young generation, when I say young, I'm not talking in the sense of they're frugal, in the term they're always Googling and finding information themselves. I'm talking the generation where they're literally, they look to their parents as a superb influence. They wait for their parents to basically guide them on everything. And I say everything, I mean everything. So that particular information will transfer onto that person. And half the time, this particular person is a vaginal virgin. Okay? And as a result of that, they carry on and they end up getting married and they have committed themselves, they get to know each other, which is great. And at the end of the day, the information that they're bringing forward comes out of a trauma from the mother or the father or whoever counseled them, and they've entered a new entity, and as a result of that, the entity is quite new, and the information they have, it's misfit.
So I'm interested then. I'm a mother of 4.
Okay.
What is a parent supposed to say to their kid about sex?
Tell them the truth.
Okay, please tell me what the truth is, because my truth is, you better wait till you're married, girl.
Oh, no. Okay, so there's wait and then there's wait. Information, one must not wait for information because knowledge is everywhere.
So what is a parent supposed to say?
Speak the truth to them. Your father and I got together. We had sex. Not woo-woo or whatever fancy name you want to call it. Get together with them and talk to them. Be mature about it, because you and your husband got together and you made an adult decision.
Now, my daughter comes to me and she has friends. Like, she came to my room a couple weeks ago and said, oh my God, my friend just texted me and said she caught her parents having sex. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, because and parents are like, oh my gosh, we just can't go that far.
No.
There's only, so.
You are the best teacher. You are the foundation, should be the foundation. So anything else they gather outside, and they will gather it from their friends. They will gather it, of course, in technology. Foundation is the most important thing, because without that, everything falls apart.
This is good. So on page 14, you state in your book, many marriages within the church quietly flounder from sexual dysfunction, and too many Christians singles are left without proper guidance to navigate their emotions and sexual urges in a wholesome manner. So there's 2 parts here. What are you hearing from the married couples that makes you say quietly floundering from sexual dysfunction?
Well, it comes back to the thing we opened up to talk about in terms of information. Floundering, in another word, they're struggling. They're struggling because when you don't know the biochemical of your body, that is normal, especially for women. And I always say this in my conferences or when I talk to men. You want to get the best sex out of your wife, time her cycle, her menstrual cycle. Because we are more in heat or desire. Can I say that?
Yeah. No, you can say whatever you want. You're the
so
doctor.
I can say horny then?
No.
Okay,
no.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
They desire our body system. So sex is life. Sex is life because it's a biochemical reaction that is happening in our body. And when our body is charged, those sparks, no matter what you do, you cannot shut it down. Not even cold shower can do that. Okay? So that right there is the law. Wow. When couples are having challenges, they're struggling in the relationship, especially in the bedroom, I always wonder, why? Talk about the cycle. You have to study each other.
Yeah, you do.
You have to.
You do.
You have to be like a sniper or a ninja to predict the move of your wife or your husband that is coming to you to get the best out of them.
Yeah.
And as I said, one of the key information I always say to them, time their cycle.
Yeah.
Before or after, a woman is going to desire it more. And once you can gravitate to that, then you understand. But the struggle comes in terms of how to even express themselves, like I want it, I need it. They are very reserved, and I don't understand why.
Men or women are?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Both. And when
do you think it's because of our beliefs?
Like I said before, is what was passed down. is what information. A lady should be, you should sit, you should ask a particular manner and so on. Now, behind closed door, when your body system starts to heat up literally, when your body system desires sex, there's not much you can do to shut it down. It's only your mind comes back, go into another place where there's a peace.
Yeah.
You know, not that desiring sex, you have a discomfort, but there has to be a balance. You really have to have a balance, right? So the struggle comes in not really know how to identify it, who to talk to, how to express it.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, you find that person says, okay, they're going to keep it to themselves, which is the worst thing. You need to talk with your partner.
Well, from now on, I'm going to walk past and say, am I hot, sweetie?
Actually, he should be able to tell you.
That's good. That's good. Oh, he's going to watch this. This is going to be on repeat. So on page 17, well, actually, let's talk about the singles, too, because singles have been conditioned to feel guilty. And you talked about how it's normal to have urges as a single person, but we just don't talk about it.
Yes.
So can you speak to the singles?
So singles in waiting, I feel you. I am single as well. And I like to be real with the audience in the sense of saying, especially if you have experienced sex, and you have now come to a place where we made a decision to be abstain, right? Your body doesn't stop biologically producing the hormones. It's just that you're not engaging in it.
Yep.
So it's something that you have to recognize. And I like to say, I call it a sex cycle. We all have it, even men. But we so much in terms of understanding your menstrual cycle, our cycle starts before or after that. Men always are on the cycle.
Always. Yes,
always on the cycle. But ladies in waiting, it's just identifying. If your cycle is on and you're trying to abstain, then chances are you should not be at Billy Joe's house. You should not be in a particular place where it compromises your value. Okay, so those are key things that you want to implement if you basically want to get to a place where you're saving yourself. Until you get, whether it's proposed or marriage or so on, because not everybody makes the decision today to wait until the actual wedding night.
Right. Right. And then you talked a little bit about the mental part of it. Can you touch on that?
Oh, wow. So sex is more mental than physical because the first sex organ is your brain.
I'm sure there's a lot of folks that have never heard that because I've never heard that.
Oh, well, if you are not stimulated mentally, nothing happens physically.
But we're conditioned to be opposite, right? Oh, it just happens.
No. Sex doesn't just happen. It is not normal for you just to meet a man and you get together and you just want it. I mean, in terms of your husband, because you got to get into the rhythm to understand each other's rhythm to create an orchestra, right? In terms of enjoying each other. So that takes learning too. So you don't just get with a person right off the bat, oh, it's the right rhythm. Sometimes you're going to fumble and fall over and lose,
And stamina. You compared it to walking up a flight of stairs. Can you explain that really quick?
Well, listen, the stamina, again, is a biological thing. And it comes back down to the charge. And everybody's body doesn't charge at the same level in terms of health and endurance. So I encourage couples, if you really want to know how well your endurance are going to be, then walk a flight of stairs, at least 12 stairs together. Chances are somebody's going to get to the top before the other. And that's how you tend to be the person, who tends to experience their orgasm first. And like I said in the book, just be patient and wait on the other person to get to the top.
There is some good stuff in this book. There is some really good stuff in this book. You need to get this. And there will be more with Dr. Wong. So don't you go in. Well, actually, I know you're not going anywhere because we all want to talk about this. So we'll be right back.
Ever since I made my first beat, I knew music was a passion. Along with the beat makers in my company, I get to share my passion. Music is a way to dream, and now I get a chance to make dreams come true. Welcome to Soundmaster Beats.
Tune to LCTV 1301 on Spectrum Cable for local talk shows, sports, entertainment, and special events in our communities. We also bring you the best gavel-to-gavel local government meetings and an opportunity for you to talk with your local officials live on TV. Program LCTV in your favorites button on your remote. Watch live or DVR LCTV channels 1301, 1302, and 1303. For the best in local programming, it's LCTV. For more information, go to www.lctv.net.
Restore your body, beauty, and soul with Capriceology.com, providing wellness and ministry services for your church and family with master herbalist, iridologist, and conference speaker Caprice Butts. Are you as healthy as you want to be? Nutritional help is just a click away with online wellness packages and consultations. Or grab your friends and book a wellness workshop for your church group. Plus, get daily inspiration to revive you from the inside out. Restore your body, beauty, and soul with Capriceology.com. Subscribe today for a free wellness guide.
Welcome back to the Mercedes Wilson Show. For some reason, I knew you would still be here. Nobody's going anywhere because we get to talk sex and hair with Dr. Nadine Wong. Yes. So, trichology. Explain to us what that is.
A trichology is the scientific study of hair and scalp and their disorders. And basically what that means is your hair holds history. And through your hair, at least at the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, we use the hair as a methodology to identify what's happening within your body. So earlier we talk about sex, and I use it as a form of treatment as well in terms of persons who may be having a mental block or maybe having a physical block in terms of performances as well. We're able to identify cognitive ability, biological ability, your metabolism, disorders and diseases that is in the body, which our body system has diseases as it is, but through the hair we're able to identify what is and what is about to happen.
So through the hair, to tie into the sex, what can you tell?
Well, the one key mineral, so the hair itself is minerals, and minerals are the spark plug to our lives. And when the minerals are off, this is where disease and disorders manifest. Okay. So for example, a person who has low libido, it shows in the mineral. A person who may be having a hormone imbalance, it also is identified through the mineral as well. One of the mother minerals of all is magnesium or zinc. Should these be off, it mimics a lot of autoimmune deficiencies and behavioral challenges as well.
Now, I'm learning a lot from you today. One of the big, and I'm not sure if it's a disease, correct me if I'm wrong, but alopecia.
Yes, alopecia is an autoimmune disease, and it's in the same category as cancer, because cancer is an autoimmune disease as well. And simply what it is, when you have alopecia, and it comes a lot when, especially in our community where there's a lot of extensions and wigs and so on, pressure externally, and of course why the body tends to release the hair is because systematically, we talk about mineral, there's a spark that is off. And once the body starts to release the hair, it simply means that internally your body is saying we have to get rid of the excess protein to protect the inner organs within the body, because of course one of the major organs is off as a result of you losing your hair prematurely.
What are you seeing the most of today in women as far as hair issues?
I'm seeing a lot of alopecia. What is called alopecia traction, which is more alopecia in a linear line because of whether you wear wigs or you're braiding, that type of pattern. I do see a lot of temporal alopecia, which is losing the hairline.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Exactly, and that has a lot to do with straightening the edges with products and a lot of pressure per se persons put on their hair and stuff. So I do see a lot of traction alopecia.
I hear a lot of women when speaking about hair too, as far as thinning. What is that a result of in most cases?
Most cases they just have a mineral deficiency, and like I said before, the number one mineral that most people are depleted in is magnesium, especially if you're on birth control or was on birth control, you've taken any kind of a medication. The side effect of the medication is to reduce the magnesium in the body. So most persons today, that's the number one deficiency that they have, and as a result of that, the symptoms to magnesium deficiency mimics over 100 diseases and disorders that a medical doctor would more likely identify and give you a prescription for.
This is good stuff, doctor. This is good stuff. So give us some information on your clinic, because you run a clinic called Alabaster Wellness Clinic.
Right.
Where's that located? And give us information on how you can help the everyday woman.
Well, Alabaster Wellness Clinic is located in Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
So it's 1400 Bailey Street, Unit 8A. And as I said, the clinic covers wellness from the mind, the body, and I like to say sensitivity, correct? And it can help everyone, because everyone, we use the same introduction, which is just taking a mineral analysis, which is your hair, and from that it gives us a blueprint as to what direction to go. And it doesn't matter whether you come to the clinic or not, because there's a virtual clinic that basically, once you send the sample to us, we're able to process it and we communicate, whether it's over the phone or over Skype or so on, and create a program and send it to you. So I can reach the mother
anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Anywhere in the world.
I really want to talk about your beauty ointment products.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
So the beauty ointment product was created just on my journey in terms of studies. We found that 100% of what we expose ourselves to daily, cosmetic-wise, will be absorbed in our system. And once it's absorbed in our system, because the skin is a sponge, and it at some point or another, what we're exposing, or what we have exposed ourselves to, it's absorbed. It absorbed through the stratum layer of our skin, and it gets into the lymph nodes, it gets into the blood system, and eventually gets into our system, and it lodges there at a trace level. And this is what the power of the mineral test, because it identifies stuff on a trace level.
Wow.
So as a result of that, we're able to identify what is happening and what is about to happen.
Wow. And then you also give back. You have a charity.
Yes, I do.
People need to know about that. Talk about
So the charity is the Alabaster Gates Children's Charity, and the overall objective is to educate children beyond their limitation. And in simple terms, I have modernized the age method of communicating known as pen pal. I've modernized it via Skype. So I connect kids in the Caribbean, particularly Jamaica, which is where I'm from, and we go into inner city areas to expose children who may never have the physical opportunity to travel, a virtual experience. And of course, we pair them with schools in Canada, where I'm from, but also outside. From America, we have Dubai, we have all over the world. Once the invitation is accepted that we've sent out, we basically make the connection. And all the kids do is speak for an hour on a social study topic. And for every school that we partner with, we send a charity barrel with food items. And some schools, some students, depending on the need, we also partner with a local bookstore in the island, and we cover bursary programs for them and so on.
That is so good. That is so good. I don't want you to leave, but we have 1 minute left. I want you to talk to this camera and speak to the couple that is struggling with sex in their marriage and give them a couple of tips.
So what I would like to say, sex is not just physical, it's more mental. And if you're not intimate with each other, you will never have good sex.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Intimacy is the mental aspect.
Yeah.
And the mental aspect sends information to the physical aspect as to what makes you ready and prepared for your partner.
I know folks are going to have questions, and we're going to bring you back.
Okay.
We're bringing you back. Thank you, Dr. Wong.
You're welcome.
And we will be right back with the Mercedes Moment.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Krebs from Young Living Essential Oils. Do you realize being healthy is more than just diet and exercise? It's what you apply to your body. What products are in your home, in your environment? Don't be overwhelmed. I'm here to help you one step at a time. With a company that is based on integrity and passion, Young Living Essential Oils. Call me at 585-708-4020 or my website, myйл.com/bodysense.
Hope, the new book by Mercedes E. Wilson, is a personal testimony of strength, determination, and faith in God, helping to overcome life's struggles. Buy it in hardcover, paperback, or Kindle edition on Amazon.com today.
Hello, Buffalo. My name is Yvette Phillips. I started a group 5 years ago called We Are Buffalo Strong. One day, my kids and I were driving in downtown Buffalo, and we noticed so many people sleeping under the bridge. I wanted to do something, but my resources were low. So I reached out to a few family members and friends, and we began taking food downtown once a month to feed our homeless community, some of which were veterans. After becoming 2017's Humanitarian of the Year, more volunteers started helping our group. Since 2013, we've fed 6,460 people. My goal is to make sure no one goes hungry or cold in the city of Buffalo, which is called the City of Good Neighbors. I challenge you to make a difference in your community. Be the change you want to see. Together, we are all Buffalo Strong.
Power965radio.com, the new sound of Buffalo, is a proud supporter of the Mercedes Wilson Show. They have a full lineup of unique programs. Find out more about the station's owner, Sheila Brown, in her new book, 29 Years of Preparation, at Power965radio.com.
Wardrobe for the Mercedes Wilson Show was provided by Clothes Mentor in Tonawanda, New York. Grade A looks for less.
Let the marriage bed be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled. That's Hebrews 13:4. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. That is Genesis 2:24. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely deer, a graceful doe. Let her breast fill you at all times with delight, and be intoxicated always in her love. That's Proverbs 5:18-19. People, God is not ashamed of sex. Read Songs of Solomon and you will see exactly what I mean. So why do we make it such a mystery? We struggle more with things that we don't talk about because we hold questions in fear of judgment. Within your marriage, sex is important. We need more sermons on this topic because there are tons of questions. My husband and I did a Facebook Live on this, and the responses that I received were tremendous. Couples that have been married for 20 years hadn't had these conversations. People, I encourage you to get Dr. Wong's book and maybe even reach out to her for advice. We will have her contact info on the screen, so reach out to her. Oh, and you're welcome for today's show. We should be able to talk about any and everything, and we serve a God that cares to know and talks to us about it all. So sit with your spouse and watch this show together. Have the conversations. Thank you for allowing me in your homes today, and I pray God's blessing over you in all that you hold dear in your hearts. Learn more about this show, fill out forms to be a guest, and give us your show ideas at mercedesewilson.com. Also, follow me on all the social media handles at Mercedes E. Wilson, and don't forget to check out all of the shows via YouTube and my podcast. Share this show with someone you love, and thank you for tuning in to the Mercedes Wilson Show.